She knelt in the middle of the plaza. Young, maybe 19, with smooth silver skin that shimmered faintly under the suns. Her large violet eyes were wet with tears, and her long tendril-like hair hung limp around her shoulders. Beside her lay two small creatures. They looked like foxes sculpted from crystal, translucent bodies glowing faintly from within, their breaths shallow, like fading pulses of light. They were dying. Cal could see that instantly. And the girl, clearly their caretaker, was begging. "Please," she cried in accented common, clutching one creature to her chest. "They need water. They cannot survive without moisture. Please, someone help." The crowd stepped back. A merchant snorted. "Ridiculous. Water is rationed. Not for pets." Another barked a harsh laugh. "Let them perish. The girl should have been more responsible." The girl flinched at the cruelty. She tried again. "They are not just pets. They are Lifewings. They bond to us from birth. They feel everything we feel. Please, they will die." Still no one moved. Cal felt a slow, simmering anger crawl up his spine. He understood scarcity. Everyone on Etherian lived by it, but the cold indifference in their voices that he couldn't stomach. He stepped forward. "How much water do they need?" Cal asked quietly. The girl looked up sharply, surprised. "A little. Even a small amount could revive them. Their cores are drying." Cal looked down at his canteen. Half a bottle. Exactly what he needed to avoid heatstroke on the trek home. He'd die if he gave it away. But so would they. Cal knelt beside her. "Here," he said, unscrewing the cap. "Give it to them." Her eyes widened. You would give your water?" "For my Lifewings. For anyone who needs it more than me." She trembled, overcome. Carefully, reverently, she tilted the canteen and let droplets fall onto the crystal-like fur of the creatures. The reaction was instant. Their bodies pulsed brighter. The cracks in their crystalline hides glowed warmly, slowly sealing shut. They were stabilizing. Cal let out a breath he didn't know he'd been holding. But the crowd murmured in disbelief. A human wasting water? Stupidity. He'll die by sundown. Cal ignored them. When the creatures finally opened their luminous eyes, the girl let out a sob, hugging them close. She turned to Cal, her voice thick with emotion. "You saved them. I have no words." "I'm glad they're okay," Cal said gently. "You should get them somewhere cool." Her expression shifted, still grateful, but worried. "But you gave your water. You will not reach your dwelling alive." He tried to wave it off, but dizziness crept into the edges of his vision. Heatstroke already biting. The girl stood abruptly. "Come with me. I cannot let you perish for your kindness." Middle. Her name was Lira, and she lived in a shaded enclave beneath the outpost city, an underground oasis few outsiders ever saw. As she led Cal through narrow tunnels, he felt the blessed drop in temperature, air cooling enough for him to breathe freely again. "You shouldn't have helped me," she said quietly. "Not because I didn't want it, but because this planet is cruel. Kindness is punished." Cal chuckled weakly. "Then maybe someone has to change that." Lira looked at him as though she'd never heard anyone speak such words. Her home was a cavern filled with soft light. Strange flowering vines crawled across the walls, releasing sweet-smelling vapor. Water trickled through a small underground spring, fresh, clean, pure. Cal stared. You have water. Lira nodded. The elders allow only bonded Lifewing caretakers to access the springs. Anyone who harms a Lifewing, or lets one die, is expelled from the Enclave. She filled a clay cup and handed it to him. Cal drank deeply. Life rushed back into his limbs, washing away the dizziness. The two Lifewings curled beside him, glowing again, healthy, comforted. Lira sat beside them, watching him carefully. You risked your life, she whispered, for beings you didn't know. I wouldn't have been able to live with myself if I walked away. She studied him, a deep, searching look. Humans confuse me. Some are cruel. Some are kind beyond reason. Which one are you, Cal Weaver? He shrugged, trying to be the good kind. She smiled, shy, unexpected. Over the next hours, Lira showed him her enclave. Lifewings fluttered through the air like floating shards of light. Waterways flowed through ancient stone, protected for centuries by her people. Cal listened, fascinated. You're the first human I've ever met, Lira admitted. I always wondered if your kind felt compassion the same way we do. We do, Cal said softly. We just forget sometimes. Her expression warmed. Later, as he prepared to leave, Lira touched his arm. May I walk you to the surface? They stepped into the desert twilight, a cooler breeze brushing past them. I never thanked you properly, she murmured. You already did. No, she shook her head. You did something my own people refused to do. You saved my bonded companions. You saved a part of my heart. Cal swallowed. Her sincerity hit harder than the sun's ever could. But as they reached the plaza again, a harsh voice cut through the quiet. You. An Ethrian elder approached, flanked by two guards, eyes narrowed at Cal. You violated water protocol. Humans are not permitted to distribute rations without authorization. Cal stood straighter. I gave my own water. It wasn't rationed. Still wasteful. Dangerous. Reckless. Lira stepped between them instantly. He saved Lifewings. That alone merits protection. The elder scoffed. Our laws are meant to uphold life. Lira snapped. You taught us that. Or have you forgotten? Whispers rushed through the small gathering crowd. The elder considered her, then Cal, and finally the glowing Lifewings. Very well, the elder said grudgingly. Human, you are granted provisional protection within the Enclave. You may draw water when needed, but do not expect further mercy. Lira exhaled shakily. Cal nodded. Thank you. When the elder left, Lira turned to him, eyes blazing. I will not let them punish you for kindness. Not now, not ever. He smiled. You already saved me. Ending. As days passed, Cal found himself returning to the Enclave again and again. Sometimes for water. Sometimes to help tend the Lifewings. Mostly to see Lira. She laughed easily now, the sadness he first saw replaced by warmth. The Lifewings adored Cal, floating around him like glittering satellites. One evening, as they watched the glowing creatures dance in the dim cavern light, Lira spoke softly. My people now whisper of you, the human who gave his life water. They say compassion still lives in the universe because you reminded them. That's a big exaggeration, Cal chuckled. No, she insisted. It is truth. She hesitated, then looked up at him. I never asked. You could have walked away that day. Why didn't you? Cal thought for a moment. Because seeing you cry hurt more than the heat ever did. Her breath caught. Slowly, gently, she reached for his hand. Her fingers were cool, smooth like polished metal. You saved my life wings, she whispered. But you also saved me, Cal Weaver. He squeezed her hand lightly. Maybe we saved each other. Above them, the life wings spiraled in brilliant luminous arcs, celebration, gratitude, life renewed. And in the deep, sheltered heart of Etherian, where water was rare and kindness rarer still, a human and an alien girl sat side by side, bound by a single, simple act of compassion. An act that changed everything.